White House is alleging that China has been providing non-lethal support to Russia and that Beijing is also thinking about sending lethal aid.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has warned that China may soon provide lethal assistance in the form of weapons and ammunition to Russia's war in Ukraine.
Considering supporting Russia's war effort in Ukraine with lethal assistance, something that we're watching very, very closely. As I also said, and as President Biden said, going back many months when the aggression first took place, and he spoke to President Xi Jinping, he told him at that point that there would be real consequences in our own relationship.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has warned China against providing lethal support to Russia in its ongoing war against Ukraine, which would include everything from ammunition to weapons. The U.S. has cautioned China that any such supplies would cause a serious problem and result in consequences. Blinken made the comments after attending the Munich Security Conference and meeting with his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi. Tensions between the U.S. and China have been heightened since the U.S. shot down a Chinese spy balloon earlier this month. Despite the meeting between Blinken and Wang, tensions between the two countries appear to remain high. The U.S. has also been discussing plans to train Ukrainian fighter pilots, while a top Republican senator has called for Russia to be declared a state sponsor of terror.
Well, we already know that the U.S. sanctioned a Chinese company that was accused of providing satellite imagery to the Wagner Group mercenaries that fight for Russia and Ukraine. And we have reason to believe that this kind of non-lethal aid probably includes body armor, radio equipment, items like that. But they have not publicly listed what China has been doing. And now, of course, there's this concern that China is ready to cross that line and provide weapons and ammunition to Russia.
Well, Chinese officials are hitting back at these accusations. Today at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a spokesperson said, quote, "It is the U.S. who has been continuously providing weapons to the war. The U.S. is not qualified to give orders to China."
The warning from the U.S. comes at a time when tensions between Russia and Ukraine remain high, with fighting in the Donbass region showing no signs of abating. China has been a long-standing ally of Russia and has provided diplomatic and economic support to Moscow in the past. However, the possibility of China providing lethal support to Russia marks a significant escalation in the conflict and could further strain relations between the U.S. and China.
I'm announcing the first tranche of sanctions.
These sanctions are a major step.
And we hold further sanctions at readiness to be deployed.
This is about as close to global economic war as we've ever come.
Compared to all historical campaigns, this is taking sanctions to the limit.
The economy is tanking. The ruble has fallen through the floor. Inflation is soaring. Interest rates are up.
The situation in Ukraine has been a key foreign policy challenge for the Biden administration, which has sought to support Ukraine and hold Russia accountable for its actions. The U.S. has already imposed economic sanctions on Russia and has provided non-lethal military aid to Ukraine. The possibility of the U.S. training Ukrainian fighter pilots represents a further step in this direction. Overall, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the potential involvement of China underscores the complex nature of international relations and the challenges faced by the Biden administration in navigating these challenges. In conclusion, the warning from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken about China potentially providing lethal support to Russia in its war against Ukraine marks a significant development in the ongoing conflict. Tensions between the U.S. and China have also been heightened by the recent shooting down of a Chinese spy balloon by the U.S. Despite the meeting between Blinken and his Chinese counterpart, tensions between the two countries remain high. The situation in Ukraine remains a key foreign policy challenge for the Biden administration, which has sought to support Ukraine and hold Russia accountable for its actions. The potential involvement of China highlights the complex nature of international relations and the challenges faced by the U.S. in navigating these challenges.